I am wanting to clarify something that's feeling pretty muddy for me. I think that my experience in this is so wonderful, and I'm so full of joy, and I've been taught this since I was born, and I chose parents who've supported me in this.
Can you hear? A little more volume.
Okay. I'm really happy, is what I'm trying to say. But recently, and with your words, and in my practice, I've been noticing that I'm always happy. And it's starting to feel a question of like, is this blissful disempowerment that I really almost never feel negative emotion? And
in other words, is something wrong?
Well,
I feel so good, it must be wrong.
And I go in circles in this track, hearing
So this
hearing
is a
you.
serious question that you're asking.
It is.
I feel so good so much of the time that I think that I might be missing something.
Not missing, but with your words and what you've been talking about today.
Well, we have a big question for you. How do you know how good you feel if you don't ever feel bad?
That is my question.
You want that balance, but what you're talking about are degrees of alignment. You see, what you're describing is our perfect analogy of beginning to push the car down the San Francisco hill, but coming to your senses before momentum takes it into tragedy and stopping it, as opposed to being at the bottom of the hill and trying to stop it. By reaching for more satisfying thoughts early on, you're staying more in balance. So it can go like this. You can want something but focus in opposition, which makes you want it more and focus in opposition, which makes you want it more and focus in opposition, which makes it want it more and focus in opposition. And you can have a roller coaster life experience. And eventually you can want it so much that that will dominate, and you will close that gap, and you will feel great relief, and you'll say, man, am I alive. And a lot of people like to live like that. Or you could want it, feel a little dissatisfaction, look for satisfaction, line up with that. Then want it, feel a little dissatisfaction, look for satisfaction, and line up with that. Want it and feel a little dissatisfaction, line up with it. So you're allowing your momentum to grow so gradually that you're not even sure that you have it. For example, you could get into a really hot tub of water and you would know it. Or you could get into a really cold tub of water and really know it. Or you could get into a lukewarm tub of water that's not that deep and just gradually increase the temperature until now you're in a really, really hot tub of water and enjoying it. Or you could get into a swimming pool a little bit at a time and adjust to it, and before you know it, you see what we're getting at? There's no right or wrong in this. You get to choose it all. Most people like the drama, because most people would rather have a negative thought than no thought. Most people think that lots of excitement around it, whether it's negative or positive, is better than neutral, but it isn't.
So I think that I catch myself frequently having something dissatisfying occur, and then I say, oh, it's okay, because I can just so easily move in the direction of what is wanted, and it's effortless. I find myself frequently saying just, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and I believe it. But then there's a part of me where I feel the wobble, I guess.
All right, so let's talk about this. Did you get what she was saying? So you're gonna like this. So here's how it goes. You've lived life and you've asked for stuff, and your inner being knows the path to all of it, and now you're meditating and you're basking and you're appreciating and you're mostly feeling good, so you're often, in fact almost always, in the receiving mode. So what this conversation is, this is a conversation about how deliberate to be with your creation, because we sound a little schizophrenic to those who've been listening to us for a while, because at one time we say you get what you think about whether you want it or not, so pay attention to what you think about and think the thoughts that feel the best. And then we say, well, you've already thought about it, you've already done step one, source has already done step two, so all you got to do is chill and let it in. So you want to say, okay, which is it, Abraham? Should I be thinking about what I want, or should I be chilling? because it sounds like two different things. And we say, if you are aware, and how you're going to do it unless you've practiced it, if you're sure that you're in the receiving mode, then turn on the gas. If you're sure that you're in the receiving mode, then allow your mind to wander, allow your mind to reach for more thoughts. And you may not be doing that. You may be so worried that some thoughts, if they're a little bit more expansive, might take you into negativity, that you sort of hold yourself in quiet thoughts.
Oh, that feels so good.
Yeah. So this under the influence dash card will serve you, because what it's saying is, if you know that you're under the influence of your inner being because you feel satisfied, then allow yourself to just let your thoughts flow. Esther thought on segment of refreshment, where should I put my salt crystal cave? And then she thought about all the places that it could be, and each place that she thought of was a little more satisfying than the thought that she had before. And then she thought about the person that she knows she's going to call, because he built the grotto at Grove Park Inn, and he also put a water stream already on her Texas property, and she knows when she calls him and tells him that she wants that, and she could hardly stand to come back on stage. She wanted to go call this guy, because she knows that they're going to get some juices flowing about it. And those thoughts were so satisfying that she can hardly wait until she can get into a conversation with him about a salt crystal cave. I know you can build a cave. Can you get salt crystal? Can you get enough of it that we can make a salt crystal cave? Can I have one everywhere I am? Once you get hold of something, the momentum of it will call you. And so that's really what you're wanting to do. Here it is. You already did all the creating when you were in step one. Hear it. You already did all the creating in step one. You already did all of the creating in step one, and source took it from there. Now what's your job? To let what you created flow to you incrementally in the way that is most satisfying to you. And if you believe that, if you can accept that it's already done, then you can let it turn loose, and you can let it surprise and delight you. And the momentum, when you think about all of the intricate details that you put into your vortex, and all the things that your inner being knows about what you like and how you like it and why you like it, and then your inner being also knows how to dovetail them together. Do you know that 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 things that are important you can explode in one moment in time, one satisfying moment in time? Don't you want to be up to speed with that, so that when that happens, you're there ready to receive it? Yes. Now let's go back to the word satisfaction. Did any of you read the book? That doesn't matter. We wrote a book, a really good book, called Ask and It Is Given, kind of about everything that we've been talking about here. And in that book there is a emotional scale that starts with despair and fear and goes all the way to ecstasy and passion and appreciation and love, and several in between. There are so many words that describe emotions that if we'd put all the words in, it would be a very long list. So we just picked key words. But right in the center of the list is the word contentment, which is our equivalent word to satisfaction. So once you find satisfaction and you allow yourself to focus in the direction of your inner being, that satisfaction picks up momentum. And that's what you're talking about, because we know that what this conversation is about. I feel good, but I'm a little limp. I feel good, but maybe I want more momentum, but I'm a little afraid of more momentum, because maybe the momentum will take me someplace I don't want to be. You do not need to worry about that. When you are in satisfaction and you allow momentum to grow, it will become more and more and more. It will feel better and better and better. It will move faster and faster and faster. And we promise you, you'll like going 100 miles an hour. So much more fun than 5 miles an hour. Enough?
Absolutely. Maybe one more clarification, that when there are moments on the emotional scale when you hit something that is less than contentment, I guess I've been trying to process how to let myself move through that instead of
having
getting
a step
stuck
one
on
moment.
that.
And here's the thing. If you are conscious and aware of the receiving mode, 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 then those step one moments don't even phase you, because you've got your sea legs, you've got good balance, you've got good shock absorbers. And now you can see it for what it is. It's more data for more decision making. It's not a statement of who you are. It's not a statement of judgment, because we talk to you about positive and negative emotion, and some of you come away with the conclusion that negative emotion is a bad thing, but it isn't. The empty gauge on your vehicle is as important as the full gauge. If your car is on empty, do you put a happy face sticker over it? Oh, don't want to know that. I should not be focusing on that. You want to know. You want to go fill up.
Acceptance, then, I think, is something I've also been musing on. Acceptance being the absence of the sort of marketing and justification that you've been speaking about.
Give us more about that.
Well, if I am experiencing negative emotion, instead of, as you just said, putting a happy sticker on it, just really looking at it as data, as information from which to move in the direction of what is wanted.
It's guidance. It's guidance. Your inner being is calling you. And if you're hearing the call, then you're moving toward it. And if you're not hearing the call, you may move away from it. But how do you know you're moving? If your inner being weren't calling you and you had no awareness of the call, could you know when you're moving in the wrong direction? Did you hear us? If your inner being is calling you toward who you are and what you want, and you're feeling negative emotion, isn't your guidance system working? Isn't it? And isn't that a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
Esther played a game with Kate when she was little. When the first navigational systems were in her cars, they would program Magellan and then they would disobey her. Magellan would say turn right and they would turn left, and Magellan would throw a fit. When possible, make a legal U-turn. And Kate would laugh and Esther would laugh. We're doing what we want. We're doing what we want. There's nothing serious going on here. Be easy about it. Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah.